Good morning. I am Victoria with Over to Arboretum, here for your Make It Monday. Today we are going to make DIY salsa and tomatillo sauce. So if you know anything about Texas or from Texas, you will know that salsa is a food group here in Texas. So we love our salsa, we love all of our creamy jalapeno from Chili's, tomatillo sauce, which is just a green salsa from the tomatillos. So we're gonna go ahead and make those today so that hopefully you can incorporate that in the end of your summer. So I have already chopped up the tomato, but I've chopped up 2 big tomatoes and put them in my food processor. The next thing I'm doing is a white onion. So I know a lot of you probably know this, but onions are not fun to chop. So I actually have this cool contraption that I can put it here on top and I squish it and it will actually, that is one fresh onion. I can already feel my eyes watering. Yeah, so you are able to just put it in this little guy and it will chop it for you. So I'm gonna stick that right there. Actually, I'm gonna chop it in half just to make sure it gets it all. Whew. So it's really cool because I have this little container underneath that will catch all of my stuff. And then I just stick this little guy on top, stick whatever it is that I'm trying to chop, and then it goes through the blades and chops it for you. Let's go to the other one too. Depending on what you have, depends on how much you have to force it in there. And I'm sorry, my eyes are already watering. Okay, it's because I left it out for too long. All right, so there we go. We got chopped onion, which it asks for a 1/4 cup. So that's half an onion, traditionally, depending on obviously the size of the onion. So we're also going to do a red onion. Oh my goodness, these onions are so fresh. Okay, so let me cut this onion in half. My eyes are watering. All right. Can't touch my face though, because that'll make it worse. All right, like I said, this makes it easier, but it does not get rid of it if it is like super fresh. So here we go with it. Sometimes you gotta really force it down to get it all the way through. There we go. And that actually seems like, seems like a 1/4 cup to me. So we'll dump that in there. So I don't have to do any more onion. So potent. Let me know if you have any tricks or tips that you do in order to not get hit by the onion. All right, so we'll put that to the side. That's much better. So I've had a friend with onions do goggles which seems to have worked because obviously your little eyeballs aren't getting that on them. Phew, there goes all my mascara. All right, so we'll stick the rest of that to the side. You're also going to add, let's see, let's go down the list. So we got the red onion, the yellow onion. Now you're gonna do the can of the green chilies. So I have a can over here. Like I said, you don't need very many, it's just 2 tablespoons. And it doesn't say chopped or whole, so I just got the whole ones. And then I'm just going to fish them into here. So kind of guesstimate on this. Keep in mind green chilies can be spicy, so if you don't want super spicy, then you might want to kind of back off on the green chilies. So I'm gonna put 2 of them in there because if you think about it chopped up, they're probably sufficient to 2 tablespoons. All right, so my my green chilies are in there. Now we're gonna do fresh lime juice. So I just got the lime juice that's in the container. It's not fresh, but if you wanna do a fresh lime, then that's great. This to me is just easier and it tastes pretty much the same. So we are gonna do 2 tablespoons of the lime juice, if I can get it open. It's just like kids' toys. They always make it so difficult to get in there. All right. So like I said, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of fresh lime. If you really like the lime flavor, add a little bit more to it. It's totally up to you, it's your recipe. I'm just kind of giving you the basics. All right, so now we're gonna do fresh cilantro. It asks for 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro. Again, if you're not a cilantro person like me, it smells delicious, but I'm not super fond of the taste. Then just either eliminate it or only put a little bit in there if you don't like it that much. All right. So my grandmother always just taught me to just take it and strip it. You should be able to strip the leaves off just by using your fingers. This part, if you're gonna use parsley, I would use fresh parsley. I mean, not parsley, I'm sorry, cilantro. It's Monday and I can't find my brain. So try to take out as many stems as possible. Again, you're putting it in the food processor, so if you get a little bit of stem in there, it's not gonna be the end of the world. So for the cilantro, it says 2 tablespoons, so I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate as to what I think it would be. So I'm gonna say this is about 1, and this is probably about 2. All right. Next thing on our list are 2 garlic cloves. I got just a garlic here, so I'm gonna peel it and get the little cloves out. 8 H-E-B, I know our grocery store here in Texas does sell garlic already peeled and in like water. So I do suggest doing that sometimes, especially if you're in a pinch. You don't want to sit here and try and get all the wrapping off. Okay, so there's one. And it doesn't call for you to actually chop it. It just says make sure it's peeled. So I am not going to chop it. That one's kind of dinky. I'm going to go for a different one. And a lot of these same ingredients are going to be used in the tomatillo sauce too. I need to get myself a garlic tool. And again, if you're not a huge garlic person, eliminate it, put something different in there, or just don't put as much. There we go. Okay. Lastly, we're gonna do some salt. So it asks for 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you like salt, go for it. But I'm only gonna do 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, so that's all of the ingredients that we need for our salsa. So let me get the top and then we will start combining it all. And I'll pull it over here so you can see it. Alright, so I'm gonna get some of the stuff that came to the top, scooch it back in there. If you like chunky salsa, then obviously don't do it as long as I'm doing it. So down here, we usually like our salsa pretty creamy, if you will. That dang thing. So here we go with the salsa. Of course, if you add more tomato, then it's gonna make it redder. If you add different things, it's gonna make it different colors. But here is our salsa.